Have you ever heard the term pre-foreclosure investing and just kind of shut down? You're definitely not alone. It's a world that seems filled with confusing jargon and, let's be honest, a lot of risk. So today, we're going to slice right through all that noise. We're breaking down the absolute core foundations you need to know, turning that confusion into a clear path forward. Let's get into it.
So, what do we even mean by the pre-foreclosure journey? Look, it's really about changing how we think about this whole topic. Instead of seeing this giant wall of financial stuff, we're going to look at it as a path of learning, one step at a time. That little shift in mindset, it's everything. It's what helps investors see opportunities and solutions where most people just see problems. And our very first step on this path is getting the definition straight.
Okay, first things first, let's get a super clear definition. Pre-foreclosure is a very specific window of time. It kicks off after a homeowner defaults on their mortgage payments, but, and this is the most important part, it's before the property actually gets sold off at an auction. That little window, that's the whole game. It's the sweet spot where both investors and homeowners have some room to breathe and find solutions that can actually work for everybody.
Now, when you're navigating something this complex, you really need a solid philosophy, a North Star to guide you. The whole approach we're digging into today is shaped by two people, Bobby and Felicia Terry, and they anchor their entire strategy in a really specific set of ethics. So let's see what that actually looks like in the real world. This quote, this is pretty much the heart of the whole approach right here. You know, this is a field that can sometimes be full of high-pressure sales tactics and get-rich-quick promises. So a philosophy like this really stands out. It's all about playing the long game, thinking sustainably, instead of taking risky shortcuts. It's a principle that's designed to protect everyone involved, the investor and the homeowner. Right, so Bobby and Felicia Terry see themselves as educators first and foremost. Their goal isn't just to dump a bunch of facts about pre-foreclosure on you, it's to help you build your judgment. You know, that skill to look at a situation, act with integrity, and make a really sound ethical call, even when things get messy. That's the real skill we're trying to understand here. Okay, so with that ethical compass set, let's get into the practical side of things, the actual toolkit. What specific knowledge do you really need to have in your back pocket to navigate the pre-foreclosure world effectively and, with some actual confidence? Now, this is way more than just a simple list. Think of it as your complete operational toolkit. For instance, just understanding the difference between judicial and non-judicial states is a total game changer. See, a judicial state means the whole foreclosure process has to go through the court system, so it takes a lot longer. A non-judicial state lets lenders foreclose without a judge, making the timeline way faster. Knowing just that one thing can completely change your entire strategy. This really gets to the heart of the transformation we're talking about. The myth that pre-foreclosure is just a minefield for new investors, well, that idea sticks around because, honestly, it can be if you go in blind. But the truth is, having that foundational knowledge turns that minefield into a map. It doesn't magically remove all the challenges, but it shows you a clear, step-by-step path through them. It replaces that fear with clarity. So where is this whole journey supposed to lead? Well, the destination isn't just about collecting a bunch of facts. It's about reaching a state of genuine confidence. It's about being able to look at a potential pre-foreclosure deal and know exactly what questions you need to ask and what the most critical next steps are. You know, the ultimate goal here is empowerment. It's about taking that tangled, confusing mess of information you see all over the internet and straightening it out into a clear, step-by-step process. This is what lets you stop guessing and start making decisions that are actually informed. And the way you learn this stuff is structured for that same clarity. You start with the core concepts in simple modules, then you see how they're applied in practical, real-world examples. And from there, you learn to pull out insights you can actually use. Each step just builds on the last one, all leading to the main goal, which is this: one single, solid framework. So instead of having a bunch of random facts floating around in your head, you're left with a reliable mental model. This becomes your go-to system for looking at any pre-foreclosure opportunity, letting you analyze deals consistently and make smart moves. It's the foundation for literally everything that comes after. Ultimately, that journey from seeing pre-foreclosure as this complicated, scary thing to understanding it as a structured opportunity, it really does begin with this one foundational step. We've laid out the map. The real question is, what are you going to do with that newfound clarity?